It's an unboxing of the DoubleTap Defense DoubleTap Tactical Pocket Pistol in 45 ACP. Inside the cardboard box, you will find one owner's manual, a couple of hang tags. Hang tag number 1 has the most important thing on it. It is covered by a lifetime warranty. So it also mentions some innovative features with the pistol. Set that aside. I clipped this off. Basically, it's a warning label not to use +P or +P+ ammunition. So you're limited to standard pressure. You also have this accessory order form, or little accessory insert. And then all the specific features of the DoubleTap Tactical Pocket Pistol. Youth Handgun Safety Act. And then we get down to the details. You get a really nice fitted foam case. You've got a child safety lock. You've got fired cases, so it is legal in states that require those. You've got the 6-round speed loader. The 2-round speed loader is actually in use right now, and I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then you've got your DoubleTap 45. Very much unloaded. There's nowhere else to put bullets. There's no magazine. It's basically a 2-shotter. So I'll get rid of the box and the paperwork, and we'll come back and take a closer look at the DoubleTap. Okay, the DoubleTap is basically a Derringer that's been brought up to modern standards. Very similar to the old Model 60 Smith & Wesson Chief Special, and then all of a sudden they came out with the concealed hammer, bodyguard, and gosh, I believe it was 940 and 9mm, probably 640 Centennial, I believe it was. Again, it was the same Smith & Wesson revolver, but it had a shrouded hammer. So basically this is a 2-shot Derringer without an exposed hammer. Everything's internal. A couple of neat features about it. It does have an ammunition storage location in the grip. Basically, you pull up on this trap door. This is the 2-round speed loader I was mentioning previously. So you've got an onboard reload. They've actually done a pretty good job of machining grooves into that magazine. I want to say magazine well, but it's not a magazine well, it's just a grip. So that speed loader slides right in there. You push down on that tab, it actually retains itself, and then you just snap it shut. There's little ball detents that hold that flap shut. And what's nice is once you get those 2 rounds in there on the speed loader, there's no more rattle. So you'll definitely want to use that. Without those rounds in place, that trapdoor will rattle. It's got an ambidextrous barrel release. You can either pull it back from the right side or the left side. It actually operates smoothest for me if I use my index finger and my thumb. It just seems to come back a lot smoother and operate a lot smoother. One thing you can do is change out caliber. So this is a 45 ACP. They also make a similar model in 9mm. You want to grab a non-marring tool for this. You can actually start that pin out with your thumbnail. You can see I've pushed it through just a little bit, and if you try and grab it, it's not coming out. What you want to do is, I just grabbed a pen. It seemed to fit the best. Let's continue to work on that pin and push it through. Okay, and that pin's actually retained by a little C-spring. So if you try and pull on this, you'll pull on it all day. It's not coming. So I just use this pony clamp, which has nice little padded jaws. Help it with a squeeze, and then you can continue to pull it out. You don't want to pull it all the way out. You want to pull it out where it comes to a positive stop. If you pulled it harder, it would actually come out of the frame. It needs to come out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, the pin stays actually in the frame. You don't have to pull it all the way out. Now you've got your barrel set off. The barrel set, it's machined a little bit differently. This is an aluminum grip frame. Their barrels are made out of stainless steel. I'm not sure how long this was on the sales floor before I purchased it. There's a little ding that has the finish removed, so that may have happened during handling. We've got a couple more dings in the metal that have been finished over. This side, I don't know if you can see all this, maybe I'll do a close-up picture. You can see a ton of machining marks down here where, I mean, the machining was not crisp and clean before they finished it up. So it's a little bit rough. I don't know if that's to be expected from a $500 pocket pistol or not. I will mention the rifling is probably some of the roughest I've ever seen. It's just loaded with chatter. Maybe I'll get a picture of that a little bit later. I was actually surprised after I cleaned the barrels to see just how rough that rifling was. Again, you know, it's not a match gun. It's probably going to be fine. I was just, like I said, very surprised to see it. Okay, replacing the barrels. Well, I should tell you a little bit about the frame. The frame, this is basically your upper firing pin and your lower firing pin. It looks like they've got some anti-wear inserts for your breech face. And then on that breech face, you've actually got two ball bearing detents. So basically they're ball bearings being held in, you know, from the opposite side of this retention plate that holds back the firing pin and these ball bearings. And I believe that, though they are there to make sure that the cartridge remains pressed forward, and then as you open it, these ball bearings give just a little bit, and that's enough to make sure that the fired cases don't bind on the breech face. And again, that's a guess. Putting, you know, if you've got a 9mm barrel set, you could swap it out for this 45. I only have one barrel set, which I will now replace. You just kind of eyeball it and get it pretty close to center. And if you get it right, and I actually found that using my hand in exactly this fashion lines up that barrel perfectly, and you see how easy the pin went back in. Now that pin's actually locked because there's a little C-spring that goes around that pin that locks into the frame, so it shouldn't want to work itself out as you under firing stress. As far as the frame goes, it looks like it's a completely different animal than the barrel sets. The aluminum, I'm assuming it's cast, could be machined. Very well done, very little in the way of tool marks. They actually put a gripping surface on the front of the trigger guard, which in a way makes no sense. As you read through the owner's manual, the recommended grip for recoil control is this. And they actually show a picture of this grip with the thumb over the back of the shooting hand. Having this serrated or textured almost makes you think it's okay to grip the gun like this, but it's not. I mean, that's not the recommended grip, so I'm not really sure why they did that. Maybe they changed their mind a little bit. Front strap has the same texture. Back strap is plain. You can see there's a lanyard ring loop, if you will. The sights machined into the front of the barrel set, machined into the rear. It's a machined post and machined notch. You really have to hold them up against the white background to even make them out. So it's not much in the way of sights, but again, for the intended purpose, I'm not sure you really need a lot of sights. This is going to be a point and click kind of operation. I'll talk about the trigger. The trigger has an absolute ton of take-up. So I'm trying to think I'll do it left-handed. It's got a very long take up, and then it stops. And I would say the weight triples to quadruples right there. And then about another 1/4 inch and the trigger does activate. But it's modestly heavy to incredibly heavy to where you almost think it's broken. And then it slides forward a little bit more and then activates. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I think they made the trigger intentionally heavy based on what I've read posted on the DoubleTap Facebook page. Again, it's not a range gun, it's not a match gun, it is a make it as safe as possible and as easy to use as possible when you need it. And that's going to be, you know, shooting at a target a few feet away versus many yards away. So that's it. Basically, to clean it, you'll want to take that pin out, remove the barrel set. I was able to clean it the first time in approximately 10 minutes. Barrel's completely cleaned. The aluminum frame doesn't look like it requires a lot of maintenance. Just give it a wipe down with a clean cloth. I don't even know if lubrication is necessary. You will want to apply a little bit of lubrication on that hinge pin, and then if you look down in here, the locking block, it does look like there's a little bit of lubrication on it from the factory, just to keep it moving smooth. And that's it. That's the walkthrough of the DoubleTap 45 Tactical Defense Pistol. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe.